here when it's time to, get to the point where paperwork need to be signed. But for my first deal, I'm not gonna lie, bro, it took probably like 2 years of doing it.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing overnight. And it was a land deal and up in Orlando. And I knew the guy that got the deal done, and that was my first deal. And that was enough to show me that it's real.
Yeah.
Like it can really be done. And it's just a journey. Like I said, I'm still in the infant stage, and I've been doing it for almost 3 years. I feel like it's still a lot that I got to learn.
Yeah.
As far as reaching out to people, like that's what I've done more this year. Literally reaching out to people who've done it, like humbling myself, like, hey, what I need to do, or what's some secrets you could tell me, like
Yeah.
anybody, especially real estate, but anybody that's successful. I'm quick to ask them, how do I get where you at? I put my ego to the side.
Yeah. Yeah. That's solid, man. You said you were in there for 2 years, man. Most people would have definitely gave up. Um, in those 2 years, man, like, did you ever question yourself when it came to the real estate investing? Like, did you ever, take a break, or did you ever just feel like, man, this ain't for me? Like, how was that?
100%, bro. All three. Yes, 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 bro. Like there was been time that I took a break. Um, and what motivated me was one of the partners that sent me properties. I mean, one time I had took like probably like 4 or 5 months off because I ain't seen no results. And one of my partners that sent me properties, he reached out to me like, Jesse, I haven't heard from you in a while, man. He was like, man, keep going. He was like, don't stop this and that. He just left a voicemail, and that voicemail, put the battery in my back to charge me up to keep going.
Yeah.
So definitely, I've had all the doubts, man. Still do sometimes because it's rough, but I know like the time frame that I'm in, late 20s, like I'm thinking ahead, man. I'm thinking about my 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
You know, I'd rather fail now than later.
Yeah.
I tell people that all the time, bro. I'd rather fail in my late 20s than be failing in my 50s.
Yeah.
If I fail in my 50s, boy, I'm gonna be on watch. Y'all gonna have to call me every day.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about it. I take them chances now and fail now.
Yeah. That's solid, man. Like, let me ask you something, man. Like, you don't have to disclose, but when you close that first deal, like, how much did you make? And then when you made that amount of money, like, what was going through your mind?
So I disclosed it, bro.
Yeah.
I made 2,500 my first deal,
Yeah.
and when I got that money, I'm like, damn, this is real. And I booked. First thing I did, man, what I'm gonna do with money, I go places. I don't spend money on material stuff. I like experiences. So the first thing I did, I booked 2 flights
Yeah.
off the rip. So I went, see my cousin in Cleveland, and I was able to book a flight to go back home. But that was the first things I did, man.
Yeah.
Was to celebrate that was book a flight. So I'm quick to. I tell everybody all the time, but when I touch some real money, but I'm gonna be out every day. You gonna see me going somewhere new,
Yeah.
because that's what I want to spend my money on, experience.
Yeah. That's solid, man. Um, Man, like, so, when it came to, like, okay, I'm gonna go after these next deals. Like, did you just have more of a strategic, plan, or were you just kind of more informed? How were you maneuvering through that?
Yeah, so like I said, my whole journey with coming to wholesaling, man, has been trial and error.
Yeah.
I didn't have a true mentor. Like uh, I done been to seminars and like Grant Cardone seminars and did things like that. But to have like a true mentor that I could contact and call to say, oh, you need to do this, do that, I become my own mentor. So with that, it's a lot of trial and error. Like I said, I done did everything from drive for dollars, send out postcards, send out emails. I done done it all, and like just along the journey, it's just been a process of just adapting, what's sticking, what strategy changes, and that goes back to people just trying things. Even if you have all the information, once you get out there and do it, if that information don't work, then what? You feel me? All that research you did didn't work. Then what? You gotta adjust. So that's what I say. The biggest thing for me is like just been adjusting, learning from it. Everything is there's no losses in life, man. It's all lessons. So once something don't work out, all right, what I need to do differently? How
Yeah.
do I change my approach? Once you keep doing that, eventually you're gonna figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. That's solid, man. Um, so just to transition a little bit, man. I want to talk about the skills training. Um, how did you get into that? And I know you're also coaching as well. Was the skills training something that you saw was a need? What was it that clicked in your mind that said, "Yo, I need to do this"?
So a couple years ago, me and my boy Javon Saxon say I'm giving that plug,
Yeah,
but we was training with another guy, on the side, just training athletes, all sports, just strength conditioning, speed and agility type of work, and wasn't very successful as far as making a profit.
yeah,
Like we trained people who didn't really see that much money, and they just hit me. I'm like, bro, I coach football. I'm great at it. How can I monetize this?
yeah,
How can I make money off of what I'm good? I'm not about to go out here and reinvent the wheel, how to sell t-shirts when I'm good at what I do. So, and then especially the position that I played, offensive line. It's a position that I know is poorly coached and poorly trained at in any sport, let alone football.
yeah,
So I feel like it was a need that was needed, and definitely something that I got into the beginning of what was it, last year,
yeah,
when I really started January last year, when I really hit the ground running, man, and just DMing every kid I could find that's in the area on
yeah,
Instagram and going like that straight that same hustle that I took from real estate,
yeah,
from reaching out to all the people. I took the same thing into coaching
yeah,
or into training. It's the same principle. Like you consistently reach out to different people, man. Everybody's not going to say yes, but you're going to get yeses for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, definitely.
So that's
Man,
how that I just took that same mindset.
yeah, man, that's different because most times, like, it's from my personal point of view. Anytime I've seen like a trainer on like a football trainer on Instagram, they've been training like footwork, or they're training the backs, or they're training wide receivers. And so when I saw yours, man, I was like, man, you don't find a lot of people actually training the linemen. So I thought that was different, and I was like, yo, you tapped into something. Like, I'm like, yo, this dude definitely tapped into something, man. So like my question to you is, man, like when it came to like, the actual training and what you felt linemen need to get better on, how did you look into that, and like what kind of research did you do?
Well, like I said, I had a great person that I worked beside, my partner, Javon.
Yeah,
I really helped him out a lot as far as training defensive linemen. And he's done it at the highest level, man. He done trained multiple NFL guys, top college guys, just had a couple kids drafted in this past NFL draft. So, just being a sponge and seeing his model, it really gave me a lot of confidence in doing it for the opposite side of the line.
yeah,
Something that I play, something that I take pride in doing. And I know that, like you said, man, you don't see it that often, offensive linemen, training
yeah,
like that. So I definitely, saw it as opportunity to, tap into the market because we do got a couple of trainers down here that train offensive linemen.
yeah,
Shout out to my boy Thor. He does great offensive lineman training down here as well, and we partnered together too. I help with his camps and things like that. And it's just the opportunity that I saw that was definitely needed. So I wanted to tap in.
yeah, yeah. That's solid, man. Like, I think it's awesome that you just, when you first got started, you like already had a network. Like, you just reach out to a bunch of kids, and I'm pretty sure, like, young kids, young high school kids, they thinking about, oh, I want to play in college, so they definitely want to get better. Um, Man, what was it like when you got that first yes, and it kind of just took off? Like, what was that like for you?
Man, I was humble.
Yeah,
I was humble, man. I was like, once the kid said he wanted to train, I said, let's do it. So when I went out there, I'm like, I just kept telling him, like, bro, I appreciate this opportunity, dog. Like, you didn't have to reach out to me. I didn't have anything. I just told him I played college football,
yeah,
played position in college. That was my only thing. They didn't have anything to reference on.
yeah,
So for them to give me the opportunity, bro, I'm forever grateful.
yeah,
And like I said, that was the start to continue to build the brand. And I just want to continue to just grow that as well and use that as far as helping me in the coaching world. Because if coaches see that, I know what I'm talking about, and that'll open the opportunities in coaching as well.
Definitely. Yeah, man. Like speaking of coaching, man. Like, what's your ultimate goal with that? Like, where do you want to go with that?
Eventually, my ultimate goal is to be a college football head coach.
Oh,
That's my ultimate goal.
yeah,
And I'm gonna be honest, bro. I don't say it to too many people. I want to be the greatest to ever do it.
yeah,
Straight up.
yeah,
That's my motivation every day, man. To be the greatest college football coach ever.
yeah,
To be on the Nick Saban level.
yeah,
Straight up. Like every time I see Nick win, I'm like, that's one more that I gotta win when I
yeah,
get there. That's my motivation. So that's my ultimate goal. You know, I know it's a long journey to get there, but
yeah.
that's the light at the end of the tunnel that I'm aiming for every day when I go out to coach.
Yeah, yeah, man. One thing, like while we're talking, man, one thing I notice about you is you have the go getter mindset, and then you're one of the very few people who actually fall in love with the process. You know what I'm saying? The process can take a long time for some, like, and a lot of people would, they want to give up during the process, and sometimes they stop. They give up completely, man. My question to you is, man, like, what would you tell those people? And then when it comes to you, like, where would you say you got this mindset from? Was this something that you had to develop, or was this something that like you saw, like you were inspired by somebody in your family? Like, you know, how did that work for you?
I mean, I, to be honest, man, like once I declared my goal in high school, you know, that's really what it took from. Like, you know, I know the road was gonna be long. I did my research first. Once I declared my goal, I did my research. What type of requirements you need to be a college coach? What type of things, what's other coaches' journey, they coaching journey, how they got to where they got to, all those things. But the main thing, like, I always suggest always looking at successful people, like every day, bro. Like it's what you feed yourself daily.
Yeah,
Like I'm constantly looking at motivation. I'm constantly looking at the people that I look up to, interviews, clips of everybody that's successful because ultimately that's where I want to be. So I always feed myself that type of content daily. And one person for sure, R.I.P. Nipsey Hussle, he really made an impact on me. Especially before he died,
yeah,
and he got a saying like, the marathon continue. But it's one interview that always stuck with me, where he said he went through every emotion. He
mm,
went through every emotion, but he didn't quit. So that always stick with me because, bro, I done been through every emotion,
yeah,
tears, down bad days where I don't want to do nothing. But it's just something in me. I just can't quit.
yeah,
Whatever I'm gonna do, man, I can't quit. I can't give up. Can't go back home. That's not an option.
yeah,
So once I said that's not an option, I gotta figure it out.
yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, that's it's crazy you brought up Nipsey Hussle, man. Like, one thing that I appreciated about him was his activism. I hadn't even like really listened to his music like that. I liked him because of what he was doing,
Mm-hmm.
type of movement and culture he was creating. Especially in his neighborhood and for people that look like us. You know what I'm saying? And people that are doing what he's doing. Um, and his interviews are definitely something I recommend people watch. Um,
100%.
Especially like I've watched the one you were just talking about. I've definitely seen that one. It's just really like he had his head down, and he was willing to go through the process, like we were talking about earlier, man. So that's awesome, man. And so I want to transition a little bit again. I want to talk about the vending machines, man. Like, how did you get into vending machines, and what was it that kind of sparked your interest in that?
I'm glad you said that. So that's one of my failure stories, and
Yeah,
I'll be the first one to tell you that. Because so what got me into it? I don't know if I'm pretty sure you're familiar with Earn Your Leisure,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
the podcast. Yeah. So I watched a lot of their interviews, and one of the interviews they had one dude that's inventing machines. So, I watched the interview and then I started doing my research. And I kept telling people, like, man, I'm gonna get a vending machine. I'm gonna
yeah,
get a vending machine. Kept saying it, kept saying it. So, like I said, I was invested in stocks. So my stocks did really well over the year. I took some of that money out and I bought some. I
yeah,
bought from a guy that I know. It was two vending machines in Victoria's Secret in the mall down here at Apertura Mall.
yeah,
And I got the machines. I was excited. And issues started happening off the rip.
Yeah.
One, the corn dispensaries didn't work. One, the drink machine started working. Like all these things happened right off the rip, and I wasn't financially in the spot at the time to be able to repair those things and get those things back running. So I saw the decline of it, and then I had bought another vending machine. I was gonna put in the Boys and Girls Club, and come to find out, I bought the vending machine before I had the place secured. Because I reached out to the guy and they said, we only got a drink machine in here. We don't have a snack machine. So
Yeah.
I said, I took it upon myself, went ahead and bought a snack machine. Then I talked to the main guy there. He was like, yeah, we sticking with this local guy, man, that's already in here. We don't want to, interrupt him. So finding another location, I was struggling with doing that too. So my vending machine was just sitting there not making me no money. So, long story short, I tried to thug it out at the vending machines at the Victoria's Secret, try to put money into it, buy the snacks for a couple of months. But I never saw any return on my money because, like I said, it got such a bad condition that eventually I had to sell them. So I
Yeah.
sold them, took a loss, but I still sold them, and also sold the other vending machine as well. But the good thing that for me, the people that I sold it to, I know it's definitely going to help them out. Because the guy that I sold the Victoria's Secret vending machines, he had already owned something before.
Mm.
So he good with already good with how to maintenance it. He knew what to fix, all those things. So I was like, at least it's going to get used in a good way.
Yeah.
Same thing with the other vending machine that I had in store sitting there. I sold it to this lady. She gave it to her boyfriend as a gift. So that for him to get started in, entrepreneurship as far as owning vending machines, he painted it nice, all this. He sent me the video of how to finish the product and all that. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it was a failure for me, but
Yeah.
I know, at the end of the day, first thing I tried it because I was telling people over and over again that I was gonna do it.
Yeah.
So the fact that I went out there and tried, I have no regrets.
Yeah.
I'll never be like, man, I remember years ago that I said I wanted to buy a vending machine and I never did. So I at least went out there and tried it.
Yeah.
It's not something that I would do. Possibly might do it again if it's the right situation. But I can always give that game too, as far as experience. I ain't no person that just watched it. I really did it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's how I feel about it.
That's solid, man. Yeah, not a lot of people can say, I did it. So I think that's solid, man. I want to ask you, man, like, what kind of advice would you give out there to someone that's kind of just trying to, let's say they're close to our age, late 20s, early 30s. Um, what kind of advice would you give to that person when it comes to like going after their dreams and having a solid mindset, and then also just keeping their head down and falling in love with the process?
So I tell them, this is the first thing I tell anybody. It's two paths in life that you could take. If you could take the traditional, it's like the Matrix. You red pill, blue pill.
Yeah.
If you could take this traditional path, go get a job, take the comfortable route. Ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with that. Because I see it. I see the people that I grew up around and they took that route. They doing well for themselves. Even at the same age as me. I chose to take the other route.
Yeah.
To take chasing the dream. When you chase the dream, it's a lot that come with it. You can do it, but understand that first of all, you got to believe more than anybody else because it's going to be a lot of dark days. So if you want to chase a dream, understand what comes with that. But you got to always remember the reward at the end. If you chase the dream, you have to remember that no matter what, it can be done. So no matter what come with it, the failures, the losses, all the losses that come with it, the dark days, it can be done. And just keep putting that foot forward and take the risk. That's the main thing. It's funny, man. I got older parents.
Yeah.
Both my parents, and my dad is 69, my mom is like 65.
Yeah.
Now that I'm an adult, I done had like deep conversations with them as far as how they grew up. Our parents don't really tell you that.
Yeah.
So I done poked them to get them to open up more to me, and just to hear what I should have did. I should have did this. I should have tried this. I was too scared to try this. I don't want to be their age saying the
Yeah.
same story to my kids.
Yeah.
So that's my motivation. I'm like, I'm going to at least try.
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is. I try something new that sparked my interest. I try. If I fail, I fail. It is what it is. I can never live the rest of my life saying I should have did. And like I said, you don't want to live with regrets. At least live with the failures of trying than to live with, damn, I should have jumped.
Yeah,
Like Steve Harvey said, you got to open your parachute.
yeah,
If you never jump, man, you never know if that parachute going to open.
for sure, man. Well, man, that was solid, man. I really appreciate you for giving me this opportunity, man.
Man, I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah,
Like it's it's an honor to just somebody want to talk and interview me because I watch interviews all the time. So you to want to reach out and interview me, man, I'm humble.
yeah,
And this is the first of many. I'll tell you that. Like this is only the beginning.
yeah,
Like the same thing for you. The same thing for you, man. You keep doing this, and this is something that's needed. You could definitely be at the same level as Earn Your Leisure.
for sure.
Like you can see they growth from the beginning to
Yeah,
where they at now.
they,
It can be done, and
they,
this is a
oh,
space that people want to tap into.
yeah, yeah. They the goats, man. Like they those guys definitely motivated me. Like they one of the reasons I started this podcast, man. But they do financial literacy. I wanted to focus on giving black business owners and entrepreneurs a voice, man. So um,
Which is definitely needed.
hey, I appreciate it, man. And bro, we definitely got to come back like for a round two. Like a year from now, and we definitely got to see like where you are and the progress you made. Like I know people would love to see that. Um,
100%.
but yeah, man. Like what go ahead and matter of fact, before we close out, man, how can people get in touch with you? You know what I'm saying, especially like kids out there that they might have some questions about football or their position. um how can people get in touch with you?
Well, all my social media is work underscore dove, DOV like bird, and same thing. I'm easy to find. Type in my name, Jesse Dove, JSSIEDOVE. I'm easy to find. I set it up that way. I understand how your internet platform and things like that. Same thing on Twitter. It's the same thing. Work
Yeah,
underscore dub. So I'm easy to find on all social media, internet, anything. So always reach out to me. And yeah, man, like I said, I try to be easy to be accessed and go from there.
yeah, man. Well, JJ, man, again, thank you, man. If you don't mind, man, can you go ahead and close us out?
No, so like I said, I just want last thing I want to leave you with, man, is like anybody that's listening, just keep going, keep trying. Um, don't don't let the dark times affect you. Like they gonna come, part of life. But you rather have that than anything than regret. That's the ultimate thing, bro. You only here for a certain amount of time. Make it count. Cause just like that, our life is short, bro. Like
Yeah,
the older I get, the more I think about that, and that's my motivation factor too. Like, right, tomorrow ain't promised. You
right.
never know. So, what you gonna do today? Did you live your best life today to say if it was all said and done, you ain't got no regrets? So that's my ultimate thing, man. Just live life to the fullest. Take those chances. Your life begins on the other side of your comfort zone. So I always say that. And those sayings it's major, bro, because it's
Yeah.
real. You don't never know who you are until you get pushed to a limit that you never seen before. If
Mm,
you live forever in your comfort zone, you never gonna grow. So that's the key thing, man. And always feed yourself the right thing. Positivity, bro. Like I'm on that every day. I don't feed myself negativity. I don't pay attention to negative news, anything like that. It's be very mindful what you feeding yourself mentally and spirit. That is real.
yeah. Hey, man. Well, hey, there you guys have it. Man, this was a epic interview. We definitely have some people in the audience, man. I hope y'all were able to definitely pick up, some of the gems he was dropping on, mindset and just the process and entrepreneurship in general, man. But that's it, man. We go ahead and close it out, guys. Thank you again. Again, I'm your host, Adrian Evans, and I had Jesse Dove, real estate investor and football skills trainer, man. And we out here, guys. Peace.
Appreciate
Yes, sir. Man.